That's right. Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here. And joining me for the very first time on the channel is someone who's been around the armchair Imagineering circuit for a couple years on WDWMagic, but is just now starting the podcast scene and, importantly, is helping me host season 17 of the game that started it all. It's AceAstro! Yay!
Got to get all excited, right? It's exciting times.
Wait, hold on. Ace, introduce yourself while I grab something, okay?
All right. I'm AceAstro. Like Tiki said, I've been doing this for a little while. I'm a Canadian, so we always have a lot of fun with that too. Yeah, I'm excited to host this. I've never hosted a big competition. Yeah, should be good. I'm excited.
All right. Anyways. Okay, folks, so season 17 of So You Want to Be an Imagineer is called the International Edition. Now, I guess, Ace, you actually made a good point in that we're nearing 700 subscribers on the channel right now. And there's potentially people who are watching the channel who might not be aware of what So You Want to Be an Imagineer actually is. So I guess I could give a rundown of that. So You Want to Be an Imagineer is an armchair Imagineering competition, kind of in layman's terms, a creative writing competition that was started way back in the day, way back on the Visions Fantastic forums. This was over 10 years ago. I don't actually remember, I think it was 2006 or something ridiculously long ago like that. It's been over 10 years. I know that much. Seasons 1 through 3 were kind of just we would present a prompt and they would just complete the prompt. Very simple stuff. Season 4 and 6, season 5 was kind of like a wash, but I digress. Season 6 especially was when we started getting into the team-based gameplay, having two teams go up against each other. Basically, the idea is that we have a prompt for each round. So, for example, let's see, what was a good prompt from last season, Ace? Do you remember any?
A replacement for Star Tours back in the time of Star Tours opening was a good one.
Oh, yes. Basically a physical Star Wars ride in the time period where Star Tours would have opened instead of a simulator. Yeah. So that's a good example.
What was another one? There was the semifinals, I think it was, or the quarterfinals, where we had a walk-around character that was sort of hidden from the beaten path. Mm-hmm. That was a good one. We got a lot of fun projects with that one too. There's so many of them.
Well, point being, it's just, really simple stuff like, hey, create a restaurant or create any tickets or create a queue for an attraction or, stuff like that. Just generally, that's what the prompts are about, just kind of giving you tasks to complete as a team. And generally speaking, you work together in these teams and you complete the projects. And Ace, you and I are going to grade the projects and we're going to decide which one of the teams wins, and whoever wins, the team leader awards the most valuable person with a PO MVP, the power of MVP. And the PO MVP means that you cannot be nominated for elimination next round. But the losing team, this is where kind of the game dynamics come into play. For each round that a team loses, the team leader has to nominate two people for elimination. And then Ace, you and I have to decide between the team leader and his two nominees for who should be eliminated. Now, the team leader, there's not going to be a lot of situations, especially early on, where the team leader is going to be the one who gets eliminated. But it's kind of more for later, where if the team leader really drops the ball, you know what I mean? If the team leader's just he signs up to be the team leader and he ends up being the least active person. That's a situation where the team leader would be eliminated over the two nominees. I don't foresee that happening soon in the game, but it's definitely a possibility. And the team leader is always personally responsible for any losses that the team has.
Yep.
Ace, is that a good way to sum up the format?
I think that's a perfect way to go about it. keeps it clean, keeps it clear, and I think it's going to be a good season.
Okay. So what we're going to do, folks, is we're going to basically go through every project and kind of tease it without actually giving away what it is. And through that, we're going to kind of talk through the format. Now, this is why this podcast is called a think tank, is that Ace and I aren't 100% of the way through concrete, nailing down all the exact details on the format. We're actually just meeting for the first time, like 20 minutes ago, so this is a pretty fresh interaction here. But so essentially what I want this to be is kind of just a behind the scenes take, if you will, sort of like, we're going to kind of run through the projects and make that sort of the format of this. But at the same time, Ace and I are definitely going to talk through some stuff live on air. And in that regard, you guys are going to kind of see firsthand how the plan of the season kind of finalizes itself. All right, so Project One, Ace. Project One is a project you and me are both really excited about. It's definitely going to require some research, but the thing about Project One is that there's going to be multiple ways in which you can accomplish the project. There's going to be multiple different goals, and you can pick a lot of them. And that's the thing that I want to kind of emphasize with this season is kind of each prompt is going to be a specific theme, but we have options for you to, you're not exactly just nailed down to one specific way to go about it.
Totally. And we wanted to leave it open because since it is the first project, some team members might be playing with each other for the first time, so might not know their strengths or weaknesses. So by leaving it with options, it gives them the availability to do whichever one they wanted to go with.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so projects 2 and 3 are going to kind of be paired together, and that's going to be essentially, it's going to be creating kind of like a 2-part experience for a Disney park. I'll just kind of leave it at that. It's nothing too drastic. It's nothing too complicated. It's been done before in different Disney parks, specifically at Epcot, if you can get the hint on that. But we're going to kind of replicate some of that magic here with something else. All right, Project 4, Ace. Project 4 is something I'm excited about. There's maybe like 3 or 4 of these projects that really kind of stand out to me, and Project 4 is one of them. Because Project 4 is essentially kind of taking something that many people view as a necessary evil in the theme park industry, specifically with Disney parks, where they have so many different parks and so many different iconic attractions. Project 4, we're going to kind of take a necessary evil and make you guys get creative with it. Like, do the most creative thing that you can with something that in itself is inherently uncreative.
Absolutely. When you first sent me the project list, this was the one that I got the most excited about right off the bat. I think It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll get some great projects out of it. I can tell by who's in the season already.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and this is where we kind of run into our first sort of planning dilemma here. So the first 4 projects are all going to take place on either Team China or Team Tokyo. Those are the 2 main teams. Those are the 2 main teams this season, and we kind of broke it up. We were initially going to have a Team Paris, but we realized that with Team China, you have 2 Disney resorts, and with Team Tokyo, you have like the crown jewel of Disney resorts. So Team Paris would kind of also just be an also ran. So it's going to be kind of the battle of the Asian Disney resorts in a way. But breaking that up, Ace, here's the question. When we do the swap, do we want to have the next 2 projects, or the next 3 projects, I should say, be kind of the every man for themselves season 16 scenario?
So projects 5, 6, and 7 be solo projects?
Yes.
I think that could be fun. We see a lot more projects that way. 2 of those are research projects, but I think that means that we'd get a lot more variety in projects depending on what they researched. So I think that could be a good way to do it. Have those 3 be solos before combining back up into teams again.
Okay. So just to kind of run through those projects, Project 5, folks, that's going to be the first challenge of the season. That's going to be one where some people are going to be stoked for it, and other people are literally just going to want to quit. But I feel like Project 5 is open-ended enough and accessible enough that, come on, there's got to be something you can do with it. It's not that hard to look into the subject.
Very true. It's an open subject for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to do that research to be successful with it.
For sure. Okay, Project 6 might be among the most open-ended projects of the entire season, and I would actually kind of compare it to, it's like the international equivalent to what Space and Red did in the recent Sorcerer's Apprentice when they had us switch from working on the Disney parks to the non-Disney parks.
Yep.
And that's essentially what Project 6 is going to be. Okay. Project 7 is going to kind of fall. It's very much a spiritual cousin to to Project 5, but it's a little. I feel like it's more accessible and less accessible at the same time. Like, I feel like the subject matter itself appeals to more people, especially on this board. But at the same point, I feel like with Project 5, there's more you can do with it, and this is a little bit more limited.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some repetition in IPs with Project 7 than I would be with Project 5. I feel like there's Project 5 would be more widespread, but I think both will be great regardless.
For sure. And of course, all of these projects are going to kind of go towards the overall international theme of the season. And with Team Tokyo and Team China kind of leading the charge for that, but by the same point, once we break up into these individual projects, we're going to really broaden it out. I mean, there's literally like I feel like 6 of the 7 continents are represented, maybe 5 of the 7. Because, well, no, we don't. Hold on. We have stuff for North America. We have stuff for Europe. We have stuff for Asia. We even have stuff for Australia. Don't think we have anything for Africa, South America, or Antarctica, though.
Nope, not this season.
All right.
Next season will just be all Antarctica.
Right. Oh my god. God. I kind of feel like we should have. South America almost kind of feels like a missed opportunity, though.
Yeah, I mean, we could change the project to cover that too.
I'm kind of just thinking what project we would change, though.
We could even just Project 8 even, instead of what it is now, change it to be a South American-based one.
Okay, but then we'd have to have a conversation about exactly what that prompt would be, and I don't want to have that conversation right now.
But that we can even look at later, too.
I mean, the question is, if we're going to do something in South America, like, it can't just be, like, do a South American resort, because as we're going to kind of tease up, as we get more and more into the season, you're going to get more and more extensive prompts and that are going to be more challenging.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like it'd be appropriate to do a park right off the bat. So the question with a South America Disney thing is, what exactly would it be?
Here.
We could even do like an Adventures by Disney.
Yeah, we could do that.
Because that's literally something that's, I don't think Adventures by Disney has ever been covered by armchair Imagineering competitions.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Okay, let's kind of pencil that in. Well, I guess now folks know what Project 8 is going to be, but I digress. Now, the question with that, Ace, then becomes, do we want to keep Project 8 as an individual project and then just have Project 9 as the one time that we swap back into teams?
What if we keep 8 individual and then we go back to teams for 9 and 10 before going to the semifinals?
Huh. Okay. Okay. The only thing with that is that I feel like with Project 10, we'd have to come to a conclusion of which team would do which thing, and that might get a little dicey.
Yeah. See what you're saying.
Especially considering with Project 10, okay, well, let me actually bring this up to you now. This is a good place to bring this up. Ace, I think in this season we need to have something called a tier system where we have different prompts for each project, and each of them are on a different tier where you get such and such bonus points for doing them.
Oh, so like have challenge levels almost where you can go with the easiest one, but you'd get the least amount of points for that choice. All right.
So for example, for Project 10, without giving away what it is, like, you know which one would be kind of like the normal difficulty and which one would be the harder difficulty.
Yeah.
So
that could be a lot of fun doing it that way even.
So with that, like with Project 10, if we did it that way, then what we could do is we could have it be like the incentive would be like 5 to like, should we do 5 bonus points? That's the question. How many bonus, like how overpowered should this be?
Are we still doing it out of 40 again this season?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd say probably 3.
Wait, no, it would be either 40 or 50 depending on if teamwork is a factor. So in this case, teamwork would be a factor.
So then yeah, I'd say 5.
5, okay. What if we have a bonus point tier of like 1, 2, and like 1 or 2 bonus points for difficulty on the individual projects? Because that's just 40 points.
Yeah.
And like a couple points can make a difference, because we've definitely seen it come down to a half a point before. You know what I mean? So a couple points can make a difference.
Totally. I think that's a good idea.
Okay. So for all the projects, generally speaking, I think we're going to go with this tier system, and we'll kind of hash that out more as we kind of go into it. But I definitely think that's a good kind of, I feel like the tier system is going to be like the big evolution of the game this season. That's going to be kind of like the trademark new thing of the game.
I like that addition. It keeps it interesting, as like last season there was the 2 choices, but there wasn't really an advantage either way. This season now they got to think about it a bit more before just choosing which way they want to go.
Right. Okay, anyways, so with that in mind, I guess so projects 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all going to be individual, and then projects 9 and 10 are going to be the team projects. So I guess what we could do is we could have for Project 9, I actually don't even think a tier system is necessary for Project 9 because that's so clear cut.
Yeah.
But what we can do is we can have the winning team for Project 9 be able to choose if they want to do the challenge project, which would give them the 5 bonus points, or if they want to go with the more simple project. And for all we know, the winners like wouldn't even consider it a project. Like they probably would, like, there's a very big possibility that technically the easier project would be an IP that they don't really like as much as certain things that are in the harder project.
Yeah, I like that idea of having them choose. It gives them the advantage or motivation to do better on Project 9 so that they can choose Project 10 instead of being stuck with the other one. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a good call too.
Cool. Okay, the semifinals. That's where we go individual again, and Ace, I can't wait.
Oh, I know. This project,
I give you all the credit in the world for this one, man.
Oh, we came up with it 10 minutes
kind of on the spot.
Oh, I'm excited for it for sure.
This is going to be amazing. It might be one of the projects, and so you want to be an Imagineer, I'm most looking forward to, like, ever. There's a distinct possibility that no one's even going to know what it is, and it just falls flat on its face. But I don't know. I have faith in everyone. And there's definitely, I guess, to tease project, to tease the semifinals. there's definitely a defunct land video that we could reference them to, which would basically give them all they need to know about it.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, and then the final project, I guess, to make it simple, we're going back home, people. We're going back to the States.
This is where the international stops.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess it kind of just makes it a little bit more worldwide, or I don't know.
Brings it back home.
I guess the question is, like, we could technically make it so that, well, I guess it'd still be 5 out of 7 either way if we did something in North America or something in Africa.
Yeah.
So I guess we might as well just stick with our North America thing.
I think the final project's fun for how it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and Ace, I feel like the only thing we really have to go through now is the release date, because the tentative release date right now is July 1st, but I feel like there's kind of something in the air of people want a little bit, like, I figured that would give you a week between Sorcerer's Apprentice and this, but being as though it's summer, Ace, I don't necessarily want to start this too late. Like, I kind of feel like mid-July might be a little too late. But what if we started it next Saturday?
Next Saturday, the 14th?
Wait, no. I'm sorry. Not next Saturday, but the Saturday after that, which would be the July 7th.
July 7th? Yeah.
So that gives us a solid 2-week break between Sorcerer's Apprentice and So You Want to Be an Imagineer. That also gives us some time to get some more people on board. Hopefully some more people do sign up. Okay, so yeah, we're going to officially move it up a week. We're going to move the release date from July 1st to July 7th to give people a little bit of a break from Sorcerer's Apprentice. And I guess just to recap some stuff here, Ace. So the gameplay here, the first 4 rounds are going to be team-based rounds, and then we're going to break it up. Projects 5, 6, 7, 8 are going to be individual. Projects 9 and 10 are going to be back to a team-based rounds. And then semifinals, final project, both individual. The tier system is going to be at play throughout the season. So on the individual projects, there's going to be either 2 or 3 choices, or I'm going to say either 3 or 4 choices for most of the prompts. There's either going to be basically with 1 to 3 bonus points, depending on the sliding scale of difficulty for the prompts.
Yeah.
Let me see. Anything I'm missing here, Ace?
No, I think you've covered it here. Right now we have 11 people playing. I mean, we could go more if there's more interest, but we need at least one more person.
We need at least one more person for Team China.
Yeah.
Specifically.
No, I think we've covered everything. I think it's going to be a good season. Lots of projects look fun.
Yeah, honestly, looking at this project roster, the way we've refined it, like I was okay with the project roster when I sent it to you, but I feel like us going over it and refining it, tweaking certain things about it, I definitely, I'm kind of stoked on it now. I think it might be one of the better project rosters we've had in some time.
Yeah, for sure.
I would actually wager to say this. I would wager to say this project roster is stronger than season 16's project roster.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Having played 16, I'd say a lot better. And like with the finals and everything, those projects are looking good. The research projects keep it interesting. I think this is a strong season for the projects.
I think it's a really, really good mix of research-based projects and more simple projects. I feel like we hit that kind of perfect sweet spot there.
Totally.
Okay, Ace, so it's been a pleasure doing this with you, and I'm sure we'll be doing plenty of podcasting throughout the season. Folks, I'm so sorry I fell off the wagon with Sorcerer's Apprentice. It's been crazy busy for me. And also, that was right around the time that Pi had to go back home from school, so he couldn't podcast with me about the season. So really, we only got about half a Sorcerer's Apprentice podcasting done, if that. I don't even think we got half of this season done, really. So I apologize for that. But by all means, Ace, I feel like I have a good feeling about you and I kind of working together and podcasting together. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I'm excited for this season.
Cool. All right, folks. Well, if you like what you hear about this season and you're not signed up for WDW Magic, go ahead and click the link in the video description. It's right down there, because YouTubers do that. They like it's right down there. And Ace, do you remember if you can sign up for WDW Magic using a Facebook account?
I mean, I signed up a while ago, but if I remember correctly, you can.
Yeah, so all you need is a Facebook account, or just do it the normal way. Just all you need is a working email if you don't want to do the Facebook account route.
Yeah, you can log in using Facebook or Twitter.
Okay, cool. And basically, folks, all you need to do is go to the link in the description right down there. And I've got kind of the general format of the game kind of laid out. And I also have 3 questions. I have 3 application questions. Basically, it's actually 2 questions and then a little test. So basically, it's going to ask you if you'd rather do Team Tokyo or Team China at the start. Now, we need people for Team China, so that's important. So if you're going to sign up, really consider signing up for Team China just because that'd really help us out. And then you're also going to be asked what one of your strengths is in Armchair Imagineering is, and also what something you need to work on is. And then beyond that, we're going to have a very, very simple prompt for you to complete, which is to design, how do I describe it, Ace? Design a water fountain, lamp post, or something just incredibly simple. Like, I give you a few options.
Yeah, it was simple things like that, and for the few people that have applied so far, they've been really fun little prompt things.
Also, keep in mind, there's a lot more people who signed up using the Fast Pass system in the first couple of days. So
yeah,
there's that.
We should have got everybody to do these prompts.
We really should have. I know. Oh, well. All right, Ace. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I will see you guys later. I will see you guys on July 7th for the launch of the season.
Yeah.